take it real slow. You know we got what you need, baby, so take it, move along. I said we got what you need, honey, come and groove along. Come on. Rolling on that highway, you know. Wow! Come on.
morning, everybody.
Hi, Jane.
Welcome to Jubilee Circle. We are so glad that you are here with us this morning. We got something a little special coming up this morning. We've got Poetry Church, poets in the house, Josh McGill in the house. We are so happy that we are going to have a lot of great music and poetry this morning. We all love Josh. Who does not love Josh? Everybody loves Josh McGill. I think that's a TV show, right, Josh? Everybody loves Josh.
Yeah.
But in honor of poetry and songwriting, this song came to me earlier this month, and we were at our weekly Course in Miracles meeting every Wednesday night at 7:30. If you're interested in talking about A Course in Miracles, and we were talking about someone was talking about the second law of thermodynamics, that energy is neither created nor destroyed, and I said, well, if that's true, when I'm reincarnated, when my energy comes back, I want to come back as a song, right? And I'm like, that's totally a song. So this is called I'll Be a Song, right? I'll Be a Song. I don't know who came back as this song, but let's honor them. Here we go. Ready? No. Wait a minute. There's tuning. Tuning is a good thing. Tuning means you care, right? All right, here we go. 2, 3, 4. And tears, many loves, too many fears. But when this life ends, I know I'll be back again. I'll live in every chord, breathe life in every beat, be the words of a poet, feet. Don't know how and I don't know when, but in my next life I'll be a song. Melodies will flow, hearts will belong. And with the rhythm in my soul, I'll touch the world, make it whole. In my next life I'll be a song. My notes unfold, I'll stretch across the universe. A harmony of love, our souls can all rehearse. Each chord lights the way, inviting all to play. In my next life, I'll be a song. Melodies will flow, hearts will belong. With the rhythm in my soul, I'll touch the words and make it whole. In my next life, I'll be a song. I'm a song forever free. Love echoes for all eternity. A symphony of light, making all souls rise. In my next life, I'll be a song. Melodies will flow, hearts will belong. With the rhythm in my soul, I'll touch the world and make it whole. In my next life, I'll be a song. In my next life, I'll be a song. In my next life, won't you sing along?
She'll be a song.
Yeah. Thank you, thank you. And thank you to this great band. This song went through like 20 million iterations with the help of, with my partner, Beth DeHart here, and Michael Reisman over there. They got writing credits. They did so much. But I'll introduce you to the band. That's Camille Carpenter over there on the guitar and vocals. And it's my spouse, Beth DeHart, who today is our 1-year wedding anniversary.
Happy anniversary!
I'm the lucky one.
Y'all decided to come here.
Yeah, well, there was a choice. Wait. Leslie Gilroy over here on vocals. Michael Reisman sprinkles over there on everything else.
Mike.
Bruce Clark, who makes just the whole world sound sweeter.
The delusion.
Larry
of
Farina
my
back here on the drums. Keith Edwards Sr., resident vegan and grandpa on the bass. So welcome again, everybody. Thank you for being here on this wonderful, special Sunday morning. And here at Jubilee Circle, if you have not been here before, the bathrooms are those 2 gray doors back there. There's no markings on them. We just want you to wash your hands, but use whichever one you want. We divide our year up into 4 quarters, 4 vias, and we are in the VIA POSITIVA right now, and that is the positive path to the holy. And our theme is loving what is. And A Course in Miracles tells us to look at the crucifixion but not dwell on it. And what that means is we have to clearly see the suffering that's going on in the world and love this place for what it is, and then develop that love within so we can become that channel of love and light that's required to awaken ourselves and everyone else. It was evolutionary biologist Charles Darwin who once said, "If I had my life to live over again, I would have made a rule to read some poetry and listen to some music at least once every week." Now, with respect to Mr. Darwin, I don't think that's enough. I would say that we should make it a rule to read some poetry and listen to some music at least once a day. At least. And that's still low in my book, right? Yeah, at least once an hour. Come on. Research has shown that poetry, especially, has healing qualities. A 2020 paper written by a couple of Harvard students highlighted studies that found that reading, writing, and listening to poetry can reduce pain, both chronic and following surgery. Poetry is shown to improve your mood, your memory, even enhance your performance at work. A 2021 study published by the American Academy of Pediatrics found that when hospitalized children were encouraged not just to read poetry, but to write poetry, there was a marked reduction in their anger, in their fear, their fatigue, their worry, and their sadness. Based on all of this evidence, CNN columnist David Allen notes that poems slow our reaction to an experience and can alter our perception of it in ways that help us find new angles, go deeper. It can strengthen our sense of identity and connect us to the experiences of others to foster empathy. So this morning, Jubilants, as we present another edition of Poetry Church, this is a day of healing. This is a day where we deepen our empathy and our well-being while relieving our own stress and fear and anxiety. It's going to be a morning, I guarantee, that will leave you saying, "Oh, yeah." Please rise as you're able. And as we do at every Jubilee Circle, we remember the 4 elements. We remember the air and the water and the earth and the fire. Wait a minute. I must make fire.
The cave woman must make fire.
I have made fire. And we burn sage as a reminder that this is a safe and a sacred time. This is a time when we set our intentions for ourselves to live into that holy love and be that channel of love, and set our intention for the world, that the world feel that love and awaken and say, "Oh, yeah." And we call the 4 directions to orient ourselves in this time, this sacred time and sacred space. So I invite you to turn. They're all marked. So if you turn this way, you will be facing east. The sun writes a new poem every day. As each new day dawns and offers us Yet another chance to awaken, not just to get out of bed, but to awaken to the endless possibilities we have to be the poetry of love in this world. May our words be filled with holy rhymes and rhythms, and fill this world with light and love. Quarter turn to the right, and we face the south. The south, too, it writes some steamy poetry. It's full of fire and passion that brings a sweat to our brow and a burning from within that takes us out of our comfort zone. May we, too, be full of words that bring heat and discomfort to a world that's grown too cozy with the status quo. Make our words fiery as we seek to reshape this world with holy love. Quarter turn to the right, face the west. The west writes dreamy verses about the rising of the stars and the setting of the sun. Its poetry reminds us that even in the darkest times, the rhythm and rhymes of life can fill us with hope, peace, and joy, reminding us that the light of love often shines its brightest when we've chosen darkness and blinded ourselves to its reality. Quarter turn to the right, we face the north. The north writes chilling rhymes, reminding us of the frozen times that are necessary in our lives if we're ever to have new growth, new ways of being and seeing in the world. The north's poems invite us not just to endure the fallow times of life, but to take them as a gift that they are meant to be, knowing that seeds of new growth are forming and will bloom again in the spring. And as we turn back toward the center, you are surrounded this morning, Jubilants, by poetry, because each one of us has a passion to share, a story to tell, lines of love to speak to the world. So I invite all of us in this sacred time and space, open yourself up to the poetry of your own life, because when you can recognize and hear those holy rhythms and rhymes that grow and sustain you, you'll end every poetic day by saying, oh yeah. All right. Remain standing, and we're going to have our greeting and welcoming song. It's an oldie but a goodie about Woodstock. That's what it's called, Woodstock. And as we sing, I invite you all to greet one another. Say hello.
Dancing is encouraged.
Dancing is encouraged.
Get your
Go ahead.
booty dancing.
Well, I'm gone.
a billion-year-old carbon, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden. Woo! Oh yeah! All right. That's the first time we've done the whole song. All right. I like it. Thank you for dancing. That was beautiful. All right. So, yeah, y'all can go. As we are transitioning here, I'll tell you a little bit about Jubilee Circle if you aren't familiar with us. We are an inclusive, progressive interfaith community here in Columbia, South Carolina. We teach the timeless common wisdom of love and unity that you find in all mainstream religions, metaphysical philosophies, mysticism, and inspired secular and religious writers and teachers throughout the ages. We use popular music, teachings, weekly celebrations, educational, artistic events, concerts, music, other community building activities, because we're trying to create a space for everyone to experience transformation so they can then go out and be that transformation in the world. We believe we're here to expand our souls, to find a deeper meaning in life, to renew our commitment daily, by minute if we have to love and peace and justice, learn how to love wastefully, and undergo a transformation from the inside out so completely that we live more and more and more into our higher divine self. We also recognize that we're part of God's good creation. We're formed in stardust, yes, but we're also formed in love and joy. But we forget this. We pop out of mom here into this world, and then we start to see you over here and me over here and those people over there, and we see separation, and that's when the judgment starts. That's when all the grievances begin, and we look around and we go, those people are beautiful. Those people are ugly. Those people are good. Those people are bad. Those people are generous. Those people are so stingy. And those people are so loving. But these people, they're just so recalcitrant, obstreperous. All the words. But let us remember our true function here. It is to remember that we've never left the mind of God. We are all ideas in the mind of God, and while bodies may die, ideas never do. And so we are eternal, and we need to awaken to that knowledge and live into that, because as soon as we do, we become that open channel for love in the world that makes everybody say, oh yeah. And just before I hand it over to Al, I just want to make two quick announcements. One, coming up after celebration this morning, Julie Buckley, who is over there. Julie's going to be leading a neurographic art demonstration. Do you want to come and say a thing about that? We've got a little potluck, and Julie's going to lead. So if you're not arted out by the end of the celebration, Julie's got some.
I am really, really excited about this art technique. It was developed in 2014 by a psychiatrist, and it helps to relieve trauma, stress, depression. It can also be positive.
None of us have that.
No. We just exist every day.
Right.
But it also can help you see clarification for challenges that you might be facing. So I've never been able to meditate, but once I started doing this art, you actually get into a meditative state. That's why you'll see that part of me is missing today.
Oh, yes, she is. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because every time I've taught it one-on-one, and Jesse was there, that mouth just kept going. Yeah. And so I said, no, I want everybody to have that experience of going into that kind of meditative state during this art. So all you have to do is to be able to make squiggly lines, and I promise you will have art. And so come and enjoy. And please, if you didn't bring anything for potluck, don't worry about it. We're going to bless it, and it'll multiply.
Right.
So thank you.
And I am the world's worst artist, and I did one, and it was kind of neat. So don't worry, no experience necessary. And the other announcement I wanted to make is that Beth and I will be doing Al's Simple Gifts on Tuesday, August 1st, at the Quaker House off of Pisgah Church Road, 7 o'clock, and we've got our new song and some old songs, and we're going under the moniker Brian's Moms, because if anyone has seen the internet, our new cat has broken the internet. So he has. He's broken the internet. He's so cute. So we no longer have any other identity other than Brian's Moms. So, but thank you all for being here again, and welcome to Poetry Church. I'm going to turn it over to the man, the myth, the legend, Al Black, as he guides us through today's festivities. Al, if you want a handheld.
Is this
Al,
on?
Al.
Good.
Yeah, it is, but use this, because
Okay.
then that way everybody has a microphone. Well, just hold it, or, because Josh is going to use that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I'm trying to have it, because poets aren't going to hold microphones.
No, I want you to hold it,
Oh.
not them.
Okay.
This is why we should have talked beforehand.
Well, that's okay.
That's all right. That's right, it's Jubilee.
Yes, I don't know if it's on.
It is.
Okay.
Now it is.
Now it's on.
All right.
We're going to let the poetry and the music talk for itself. Each performer will announce the next person after them. But we want to thank you all. And she said, the legend, I want to say I'm a legend in my own mind. Yeah, and it's a crazy place to be, let me tell you. So, we're going to start with the singer-songwriter, Josh McGill.
And faith and stone, now 9 more pillars to stand upon. We're lost, but they've gone home. They left us behind with seeds of love to be sown. You hold each other by the hand, and you cover every inch of this broken land. The healing starts when you take a stand. Nothing less is what the blood demands. Nothing less is what the blood demands. Right here, plant your feet in this dirt. They can try as they might, we won't be unearthed. Right now, this is our judgment day. Do we stand our ground or just fade away? Do we stand our ground or do we just fade away? We're still so far from the end of the fight. One less piece of cloth won't change a hateful mind. One less piece of cloth won't change a hateful mind. Right here, plant your feet in this dirt. They can try as they might, we won't be unearthed. Right now, this is our judgment day. Do we stand our ground or just fade away? Do we stand our ground or do we just fade away? It's no question of wrong or right. You know love brings brings love, hate brings divide. Rest your body and your thoughts tonight. A new day comes, a new chance to rise. A new day comes, a new chance to rise. A new day comes, a new chance to rise. A new day comes, a new chance to rise. Right here, plant your feet in this dirt. They can try as they might, we won't be unearthed. Right now, this is our judgment day. Do we stand our ground or just fade away? Do we stand our ground or do we just fade away? Fade away. And the first poet today is Miss Tamara Miles.
Wow, I'm inspired. Mantis, the most feared predator in the insect world, praying mantis. I thought to save our peach trees, tucking a cocoon-like case into the elbow crease of the peach tree, eager for the strange cascade of 200 yellow-green nymphs to emerge in 6 to 7 weeks, or was it 10 to 12? Because every day before I leave for work, I take a look. But everything is still and silent except a few ants making their way across the stem. Grow, grow, I whisper my prayer. For triangular heads and bulging eyes, leaf stick bodies elongated, the built-in weaponry of front legs folded to deceive. The only known insect that can turn its head to look over its shoulder. You can train it to take food from your hands, and it will not bite if you treat it carefully. And it will never go far from you with its large compound eyes, with its third eye, with its 2 other simple eyes, with all 5 of its eyes patiently waiting. And I have waited. And I have waited before like this for babies that I believed were coming. One fell before its time at 10 weeks, more like a freckle than a face. With another, we were happy. I went to the beach. At home, I heaved on all 4s. She was already gone. Down syndrome and a related heart defect, but I delivered her with the help of Dr. Young, who slept at the hospital so he could be near when the time came. And I held little Joni Waco. We held and kissed her and never saw her again. And the geneticist said, "There's nothing wrong with you. It's the 21st gene. It sticks sometimes." And we told our daughter, who was 5, who was waiting with her big summer blue eyes. And she asked, "But when is the baby coming back?" And I and all women are more than cocoon nest wombs. We are transformed in ourselves. We are transformed in our words, in our own eyes, wide and searching. We are mirrors of heaven. May we fold our hands before these mirrors and bow to the God in us, to the God who suffers with us and dreams with us, who holds us like the baby Moses, who hides us like the baby Moses in the cleft of the rock. And let's have Moses Oaktree.
How's everyone doing this morning? Everybody can hear me well? Awesome. For those who don't know me, my name is Moses Oaktree. I'm super happy to be up here today. All y'all look absolutely beautiful. Yeah, so I'm like super happy to be in your presence. I just have a couple of quick poems for y'all, and you know, I hope y'all enjoy from here, yeah? You are a poet now. Step on stage. Let the light fill you. Let it heal you. Breathe. Tell the audience that you don't sing. Sing a little. Tell the audience you're not a love poet, but if you were, it would sound a lot like this poem. Don't forget your poetry voice. Recall your trauma. Let it fill you. Feel it building. You do this because you love it. Remind them you are not a love poet. Lower your voice. Raise your voice. Change the intonation. Swap syllables with symbolism. Switch up the alliteration. Stop. Dream. Idealize. Idealize your suicide. Idealize your suicide again. Cut your belly open on stage. It takes guts to stand up. Show them to everyone. Once they've all fallen out, what do you become? You are a poet now. Your job is to bleed gracefully. They'll even judge it. They'll say what it was and what it wasn't. They'll say you didn't bleed enough for them, but your wrists have been mangled by your story. Your veins are pouring. Your bleeding is freeing. Get free. Get free. We're not hollow men. Shake off your skin. Find the love within. Find the love within them. Resonate till your pupils dilate, till you can feel the beating of their hearts. You trained for this. You prepped for this. You've been memorizing poems. The lines are stuck in the walls of your house, in your car, because you love this, because you love them, because you're bleeding, because it's freeing, and it makes you think about God, so you talk about God. So you talk about God in all your poems and about what suicide, I mean what sacrifices are for. If when you step on this stage, it makes you feel like you're home, you should remind them and remind yourself that this is not a love poem. All right, so a lot of my personal inspiration for poetry came out of a lot of jazz poets, and then I got into beat poets, and then I got into some like Rumi, Khalil Gibran, like more spiritual-esque poetry stuff. But like while I was still on the beat poet, like kind of getting into the spiritual poet stuff, I wrote this next one. It's very imagery symbolic, so like stick with me, okay? Deep in the valley of bended spoons, the locusts have forgotten to hum. Instead, they own. Om. 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 Deep in their meditation, they focus the sensation until it vibrates them to creation. There they have conversations with the gods that create them in their own image. Heavenly missing fathers and grasshoppers, I've been vision questing with them. As the golden blades of grass bow beneath my blackened soles, I shed my ego like a serpent's skin. I'm clean within, and my heart begins an awakening, and I realize the sun always shines through the second sight of my third eye. All it takes is a spotless mind. So let the kundalini climb up your spine and grind away your toxic self like candle wax on altars melts. Then look into the skies. You've arrived and are staring into a cosmic mirror. You're Amaterasu on ayahuasca, listening to Sun Ra and the cosmic gospel of Bootsy Collins and Parliament Funkadelic on vinyl. When the maggot brains are all going viral and the world begins its final spiral, will you have the will to escape samsara into the valley of bended spoons? And this last one's for my grandma. I got this memory when I was 6, right? Being called inside from play on a hot day, 110 degrees in Allendale, South Carolina. My great-grandmother was snapping green beans on the front porch. She said, "Baby, come on inside. That's how you get that heat stroke." I say, "Grandma, what is heat stroke?" She said, "Baby, heat stroke is what happens when it gets so hot outside, lightning strike right between your eyes and set fire to your insides. It's the sun gone poison. Something good turned evil, the fruit of Eden. I never want you to know the taste of a flaming sword swinging." I say, "Grandma, how do you know? Were you out there playing and you got you heat stroke?" She said, "Baby, I must have been about your age, but we weren't out there to play, baby. It was me and my papa picking cotton." Her hands stop and she holds them out, and her calluses have become mountains and the valleys plantations. Her lifelines and her love lines, the rows of cotton that she walked. Her palms are white as the crop, and I can't count all the stalks. She said, "Baby, for a long time, this is all that we knew. On one hand, what we picked, and on the other, what we grew. The crack of dawn still reminds me of the backfire, the truck your great cousin hid in the bed of when he escaped to the north, shuffling quiet as mama fixing food in the morn. We took them lunches to the field. At noon, Pop and I would have our fill, and we would work until the dying of the day." When she said them words, the vision of my grandmother passed away, except for her hands. They seemed to dilate. Her hands seemed to dilate. So that's when I noticed the cotton bulbs all had faces of family members. My brothers, cousins, my sister, their mouths were all wide open, tongues made of fluff picked by unseen hands. The cotton rises, white rabbit bodies disappear into the sky, cotton tongues flutter like dust in the light. My grandmother notices me staring and closes her fists tight. I say, "Grandma, what is heat stroke?" She said, "Baby, heat stroke is the searing pain of your native tongue being plucked out and replaced with something that doesn't quite fit right. It squirms like children in church pews. It doesn't sit right. Baby, you're 6, right? How high can you count? Can you count all the days that my father came home broken?" There were none. the heat stroke, the day that it struck me down. I remember how he cradled me beneath the shade of a beech tree. He said, baby, I'm sorry. Can you ever forgive me? I'm not out here working this hard for no one. He said he was working this hard for me. He said I have to survive so my children, so my grandchildren, so my great-grandchildren don't have to go through the same thing, because grandson, heat stroke is a wound time doesn't quite heal, but baby, I love you like I love my father. Beyond time in those cotton fields, baby, I love you like I love my father, like I love all of you. Beyond time and those cotton fields. Coming up next to the stage, the one and only Mr. Josh McGill.
All right, so normally at Al's things, the music all goes first, and I don't have to follow all these talented people, so oh, my sweet confession. You told a grand story once upon a time. And oh, my sweet obsession. Words aren't just words spoken in the right time. I'll bleed if it makes you feel better. It makes you feel better. I'll open the vein. I'll scream till you hear every letter of every word that I've yet to say. Oh, my sweet confession. You told a grand story once upon a time. And oh, my sweet obsession. Words aren't just words spoken in the right time. I'll cry every tear left inside me, each tear left inside me in exchange for your pain. I'll work till the bones left inside me have turned into dust, too fragile to break. Oh, my sweet confession. You told a grand story once upon a time. And oh, my sweet obsession. Words aren't just words spoken in the right time. Oh, my sweet confession. You told a grand story once upon a time. Oh, my sweet obsession. Words aren't just words spoken in the right time. Words aren't just words spoken in the right time. All right, now I don't see my sheet, but I believe TK is up next.
Hey, how y'all doing today? All right, I got 3 kind of pieces for you. So
Again, my name's TK. I'm a spoken word artist. I perform around, so if you're looking for events and everything, yeah. I never remember to plug myself, but this is it. I did it. Check and check. All right. So the name of this first piece I got is, I wrote this kind of recently. It's just called Grace. It feels like I need to have a better title than that, but that's all I'm riding with for right now. So I wrote this a couple of days ago. Never forget to give grace to the ones that tried to hold you together when you were broken. I mean, isn't that what most of us asking God for? Grace. This is what friendship and family means to me, and I will always leave the porch light on for an apology, or honestly, just make me laugh. If you make that moment bright enough, it should always overshadow the past. Let me see in your energy that I might need to grab my sunglasses. Our future is so bright. Or maybe it's just to hide the tears that we're fighting. But yesterday was yesterday, and we can't always go back to the homes long ago but departed. Life roads are all uncharted. May yours lead to happiness. Much success to all, even if you wish me the opposite, because when you made in God's image, you filled with enough love to rise above it. I saw the sun today, and I smiled at it and told it I love it. Because sometimes the little things are the biggest things to us, or at least they should be. And my apologies to anyone who I couldn't be the man that you wanted or needed me to be. The same grace, for asking to share and give the same grace. Peace and blessings. Have a great day. All right, that's that piece. All right, the name of this next piece is called Self-Motivation. This is kind of a man in the mirror talk that I pretty much have with myself as we all get through our low points, but I figure, you know what, write it and make it rhyme a little bit. So, yeah. All right. Hey, we all carry crosses. And if yours are too heavy, God would have sent for you and let you get your rest. We don't always get the best cards in the hand that we're dealt. Still have to deal with it and play it for ourselves. Life is filled with pop quizzes, and we don't always get to study for the test. So just do your best. You got this. Sharpen your pencil, breathe. You still got time left. I mean, God ain't gave up on you yet. So never give up on yourself. Even the blessed get stressed. Even God's favorite still get stuck like the rest with heavy chore and defiantly ask, why me? Because the same rule applies. The test comes before the testimony. Darkest before dawn, joy comes in the morning. Even if your cloudy days are blocking your glory, trust and believe, just keep walking until you see the sun. God be the victory. Have a little faith and a lot more fun. Why so serious? We're all God's children. Stop being the cranky one. Smile for a change. Then pray for that change. This is just another season that sometimes we just have to wait for the spring, but your time is coming. You're okay. Period. Not a question. Now tell God thank you and make room to count all your new blessings God sent for you. I pray for your good mornings and even better today. I mean, I've never been in a whale. Or a lion's den. I mean, I've never hung from a cross or been in an oven. So with these little troubles of mine, I know that one day I'll be fine. Because if the Bible gave us any signs, his favorites can have a hard time. And that's that piece. All right, the last little piece I wrote is it's called You Beautiful Child of God You. It's pretty much a small piece. It's some kind of affirmation thing. I have like nieces that I love, and sometimes I like to send them little messages and stuff. So this kind of developed from one of those. You beautiful child of God you. You're beautiful. Just the way the Creator made you, even if no one else sees it. Greatness is just an arm length away from you reaching it. So speak it, claim it, and what you want from the universe, name it. Any flaws you can improve, change it. God believes in you. That's why you have the gift for today. It's your present. You are no mistake. So don't be good. Smile, be grateful, and go be great. And that's that piece. All right. Next up, we have Jane Zenger. Did I say that right? Okay, thank you. Go. Oh, I was so worried.
Every time. Okay. I'm usually pretty loud. I have 3 poems, very different, each one. The first one is, just need to tell you that I live in a place called Cedar Creek. It's my heaven, and I lost my husband who built it, and we were together for almost 43 years. And so a couple of these poems have to do with what it's like to all of a sudden have a time of your life you're taking care of it all by yourself. So this is called Between a Molecule and the Milky Way. Oh, by the way, he was a scientist and I was an English major. So there we go. Oh. We are precariously balanced here, says Kenneth Clark, who unfortunately has been usurped by Stephen Hawking, who has used his time quietly. I, on the other hand, spend my time on the ground looking for evidence that something is running this show, something akin to a spirit or the meaning of magic, like Ouspensky, frantically in search of the miraculous, trying to tie it all together. All magic may be a trick, some deception, but LSD helped him float out to sea, happy and serene. So every day I search my woods, the sky, the soil, the plants, the animals. I'll share the magic of the last 13 days with you. In order of events is a marching band of memories. On the first day of April, hawks ransacked a nest. A baby squirrel spiraled down and landed in dry leaves, still breathing. Oscar Wilde, my gentle elder cat, brought it into me, a hairless gift, a gray soft pelt, perfect, albeit the feline punctures in her final fragile spine. I wrapped him in soft cloth, dribbled warm milk, and my dying husband blew his warm breath into his mouth, but the baby had no chance. I let a purple thistle bloom last year, and it produced a Scottish army. I prayed for a solution without a poison, and help arrived in a bucket of Caribbean passion flower vines. They wiped out the thistle, but vines were escaping into the deep woods, and by the summer's end, hundreds of maypops exploded to take over. Then what will I need to pray to stop them? A day ago, I turned over the hibiscus leaf and touched a rare saddleback caterpillar. I was the first and last to feel her poison stingers. One of us survived. Last night, the storm ran over me, and I circled the house, watching its approach. First the breeze, then the gusts and clouds ramping up, and the lightning flash and the thunder stopping my heart. Limbs twisted and cracked off and spun down, barely missing me, as if I was the target of a playful Thor. The days grow warm, the ground shudders with new life, reptiles waking from the winter hibernation. The robins return. The rare blue racer shows herself. She flows my way until she seems to fly across the slippery grass, soaring over slick leaves, coming right at me. I surrender the ground. The old king snake is back. She wakes beside the stump where I feed the crows and squirrels. Luigi, the box turtle, was digging his head into my leftover meatballs. Her face, spicy sauce and laughter, saves my soul. The night arrives, the owls and insects take over the woods, and I cannot avoid the pain of summer moving on without me. Night falls, the stars check in on time in perfect formation, and I am mostly naked, watching the rising moon fall. A single spider shares my upper deck, her contribution catching insects and creating the deadly work of woven art, backlit and shimmering from the full moonlight. Moses, where's Moses? This was not a poem I was going to read, but you inspired me. This is my book, Night Bloomer. And you'll probably recognize this woman I'm going to be talking about. It's called, my grandparents came from Horry County, and they were farmers. And there was some wise grandmother and some wise aunts. And this is going back in time, and this is called Shucking Beans with Aunt Prudy. You're on the porch, we're shucking our beans. Lucy's come in, she's heartbroken. Her guy, gone. Who do you talk to? Nuts and muscadines and cherries. Got to be the right season, because timing is everything. There is some food worth the trouble. Boiled peanuts take some finesse. Got to crack them carefully. The best ones have firm red nuts. The large perky ones you will offer to someone, hey, this is perfect, take it all. Now, Lacey, that fool you're crying over ain't worth it. Ain't worth spit. Sometimes you need to wait for the next batch. And oh yeah, I love those peanuts and the sour cherries when they open. You half bite it and get that pit out and rub the juicy red half on your lips, and you get a good stain going. See who notices. The grapes are almost ready. Muscadines make the best wine, you know, but don't get excited about that. Your Uncle Bubba won't give up the family recipe. Lacey, don't love anybody that craves the bottle, unless it's a baby. We've had enough trouble. Can't ever trust a drinking man, no matter how charming and how charming they start out being. Best let me teach you today to make some jelly. Now, in Aberdeen, when I was on tour, I met a trumpet-playing man who snatched a whole cherry out of my fancy drink and supped on it, and then spit out the pit and played with the stem. In a bit, he took it out and held it up with a pirate's grin. He had tied the darn thing in a knot with his tongue. I was a practical girl in those days, and my first thought was, who has the time to learn a trick like that? But my second thought was, I'm gonna marry that man. Another thing, Lacey, it's the little things that show a man's character. You know, how some dude gets rid of a wad of gum will tell you a lot about him. First, is it bubble gum or juicy fruit or breath gum? And does he think to keep the wrapper so he can dispose of it later? Now, that's planner. Avoid those guys who spit gum out wherever the flavor runs out. They're the only in for the short run. Now, Lacey, you know the highway to hell is paved with little round gum blobs. Now, back to peanuts. The roasted dry ones, there was this Texan I met on a field trip who was darn good looking but hard to figure. He didn't seem to have enough patience to crack a nut. He'd pop the whole dang thing in his mouth, crunch the roughage, and wash it down with cheap beer. Never did figure out if he was lazy, hungry, or ignorant. But hailing from Texas, should have known better. Stay away from those guys. They have serious issues. Me, I keep the wrapper and only drink at communion. Now keep shucking, Lacey. That's about all we can do sometimes, honey. When the season's right, you'll find him. Trust me. And that man who put the knot in the cherry stem, that's for another day. And I have to thank Al, because we had a group for a while and they said, bring in something really different. And I thought it's going to go in the garbage, but you wouldn't let me toss that one away. So, one more. And this is about a quarter of a circle of all the weirdness that I am, okay, compared to those other two. I was lucky enough to be invited to teach in China for a year. And on the way there, I was going to a little university to teach that was out in the middle of nowhere. And they were waiting for me, but this is what happened. It's called Lost Luggage number 2. I had a lot of lost luggage poems that seems to happen to me. Somewhere in Beijing, my luggage slipped off the grid. I was passing through, making a connection, destination Taiyuan, and a university where I would teach the next year. I headed south on the Shaanxi regional connection, but my bags missed the flight. I imagined some man in a white baggy uniform sorting through my stuff in a back room, looking for contraband, but finding a simple teacher's wardrobe, American music, books, and movies, all meant to be left behind. I arrived hours late in the middle of the night, but the Chinese greeting party had patiently waited, a curious entourage, eager to welcome me to my new home. There were balloons and flowers, a stuffed panda bear, and a welcome home, foreign teacher spelled all incorrectly banner. For 3 days, I returned to the airport, no luggage. Finally, I met with the powerful chancellor of my college to report that I would soon be teaching class in my pajamas, since I was out of clean clothes. This was the first of many comments causing confusion and panic to those without a creative imagination and prone to protocol and impatience. Authorities contacted authorities. In that mysterious way, things are done in China. My luggage arrived the next day. The suitcase was grinning when I picked it up. It must have been touring first class, and judging by the rumpled mess, had been entertained and had too much to drink. The next day, I taught in my pajamas anyway. And I am so happy to introduce everyone that you already know. Al Black.
I'll let my poems speak for themselves. I'm going to read 2. This is called Meditation on the Lahia Akdas, which is a small tablet. What is in the spelling of a name that makes it holy? While you slept in the halls of cloistered stone, stars fell from the sky. The sun returned and the breeze called awake, because darkness has no hold on tomorrow. All the clappers were stolen, melted down and sold. The warning hour struck, the belfry could not sing, and still you waited for the clanging to awaken you. Truth is not confined in an ancient book on a dusty shelf. Beware of those who call themselves enlightened and hide among the tombs. The burning bush has become a forest fire. All rivers flow to the sea. Rise from your bed, draw back the curtain, open the gate, and walk in the light. This is called Weightless. If you pray to be of service and I pray for relief, are we guided to meet? When you say a kind word or you bind my wounded soul, are we the answer to our prayers? Are we assisted by hosts of angels? And are we not each other's angel? Do angels land weightless upon our thoughts when immersed in prayer? How would we know? Someone once said to me, "You plan so many events, how do you do it and everything?" And I want to say, what you do is always surround yourself with talent above your level, and you can bask in their light. And I've been very fortunate in my life, and today is another one of them. Josh McGill, please play us out.
So you say you sold your soul to the wrong kind of man, and now you want my sympathy. Well, you hold your broken heart in the palm of your hand. Now don't hand that to me. It's a fragile thing, so guard it with your life. So you say you lost sight of what you really need, and now you don't know where to start. Now you're talking so much that you just don't see. You left your horse behind your cart. Take hold of the reins and learn how to be alive. It's alright to cry, it's alright to scream, but it's still alright to hold your head up high and get on with everything. So you think a lost cause means that nothing's left, but it's just another open door. Now you don't want to remember what you just can't forget. You can't take this anymore. There's no easy way out, so dig your heels in the soil. It's alright to cry, it's alright to scream, but it's still alright to hold your head up high and get on with everything. I see now is full of the broken and damned who would give in to defeat. Well, each time you try to mark a place to stand your ground, they're gonna knock you off your feet. It ain't the time or the place to be one of the weak. It's alright to cry, it's alright to scream, but it's still alright to hold your head up high and get on with everything. It's alright to be lonely, it's alright to get down, it's alright when you feel like there's no way out. It's alright to stand up in the face of doubt. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright.
Let's give it up for all the talent we've heard this morning. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everybody who came to the mic. think some beautiful, beautiful things that we've heard this morning, and what it reminds me of is that everyone has a different take on the world. Everyone has a different perspective. We all have different backgrounds and different life experiences. And to me, that proves that we're all one. Because we are all one spirit, having these disparate experiences. And the way that we remember our oneness is that we share them. We get curious about everybody's story, everybody's experience. And if you want to know what is quote unquote wrong with the world today, it's that we're not curious enough about each other. We think that we're defined by our bumper stickers. We're defined by our political leanings. We're defined by our religious beliefs. And that's not what we are. That's not who we are. And we are not even the sum of our experiences. We are one. And we are having disparate, sometimes completely contradictory experiences. But that should remind us not to get angry, not to check out, but to get curious. Everyone has a song, everyone has a poem. Everyone has something to share. And it is in the sharing that we remember who we are. That we are one spirit, one heart, one mind, one breath. And in these moments of reflection, I invite you. Let us remember we are this one mind. No matter what our differences may appear. We are, as Josh's hat says, we are all love. Breathe deeply. Another thing we all have in common is a need for resources. And while money is just energy like everything else, it is the energy that helps this community survive. It is the energy that helps us be this light in the world. And so we ask simply for your support, that knowing that we use it to make the light brighter, to make this world a more loving and happy and fulfilled place. And if you're watching on the YouTube, you can go to jubileecircle.com, and there is a link to donate. If you are here in the room, cash is great, but if you don't have it on your lyric sheet, you will find a QR code, and you can give online through PayPal or Venmo. And you can also write a check if you're mailing it in. It's Post Office Box 4611, Columbia, South Carolina, 29240. All right, and if someone will pass this around, Julie's busy. Beth. All right, I'm going to give a few announcements, and so the band can come up because we're going to sing ourselves out here after we do a few announcements of things that are coming up. And then we will, then there's a potluck, stick around for that, and there is a neurographic art demonstration. If you want to spend your afternoon coloring, it's going to be a great thing to do. It's going to be beautiful. All right. Coming up next Sunday, August 6th, we're continuing our VIA Positiva theme of loving what is, and Agape licensed spiritual practitioner Deb Varn, who just wandered in, will be our bringing the message next week. Coming up this month, we've got some great things happening in the living room, which is our event space. Every month for the past few months, we've been doing what's called monthly after-dinner cabaret. We've got a couple of singers and a piano player, and they sing standards and show tunes, and it's wonderful, wonderful event. We do it twice every month, and we're going to be doing it through September, so it's time to come and join us this month, August 8th. And August 10th, that's a Tuesday and a Thursday. Katrina Garvin and Sam McWhite will be performing. And if you have not seen, I'm not familiar with Sam, but if you have seen Katrina, she did a one-woman show where she was Billie Holiday. Oh my goodness, the woman can sing. So come on. We'll have dessert and non-alcoholic beverages available, BYOB otherwise. Tickets are $20 at the door. And also the Midlands Light Opera Society is going to be performing 2 operettas. One is going to be Gilbert and Sullivan's Trial by Jury, and this will be happening on Friday and Saturday night, August 18th and 19th, and then we'll have a matinee on Sunday, August 20th. And again, BYOB, $10 at the door. It's going to be great. And then September 15th, Stillhouse is going to be here live in the living room. This is one of Columbia's premier bands playing originals and covers. Tickets are $15 at the door, cash or card. And again, BYOB, we'll have non-alcoholic beverages and some snacks. Every week, we have Soundy School next door. It's sound healing meditation. If you liked what I did with the bowl, that's that on steroids. Next door at 10:30, it's a half an hour of sound healing. And then Wednesday nights at 7:30, we have our Course in Miracles discussion group. Is there anything else I'm missing that anybody needs to say? All right, great. Well, we are so happy that y'all have joined us here together. And this is a song that Michael and I wrote that we always end our celebrations with because it reminds us of our oneness, that we all walk together. And every week we remind you of the words of Meister Eckhart up there on the wall. If the only prayer you ever say your entire life is thank you, it will be enough, because that gratitude puts you right in this present moment where you find all the fullness of love and joy and peace. And when you get in that moment of gratitude and you look around and you realize this present moment has everything that you need, the only thing you'll know to say is, oh yeah! We all walk together, hand in hand, side by side. We all walk together with hearts and arms open wide. We made our way by walking in love, we will abide. The path is always open. coming this morning. Go in peace. Join us for neurographic art and food. Yes. Have a great week.